Hey everybody, it's Jacki Jing. Man, it's been a long time since I've made a video for y'all, so thank you for your patience. Basically just got tied up with a lot of work stuff, and my schedule's starting to free up a little bit, even though Comic-Con's right around the corner. But yeah, I'm back, and I really want to start doing more of these reviews and streaming and bringing content to all of you that you guys enjoy. So yeah, please like my YouTube page and make sure you press that little button that has like a bell on it. Ring ring. Yeah, thanks. Okay. So I'm talking about Child's Play. This is a reboot of the movie from the late 80s, and to be honest, I vaguely remembered the movie from the 80s. I just remembered thinking that it was horrifying and that Chucky was just like so creepy. I mean, it had voodoo and, you know, bones breaking and this cussing little doll. It was just bizarre to me and really creepy. And then I remembered when I was probably like in middle school, or I don't even know, around that time, that there was like the Bride of Chucky and the Seed of Chucky, and I just thought that they were like really weird. Like they just not my cup of tea. But straight up, anybody who has watched any of my content in the past knows that I'm not a huge horror fan. I love The Haunting of Hill House. That is a scary freaking show. Scary freaking show. But amazing story. Fantastic characters. Wonderful acting. So, like, if the story's really good, like, I'm on board. I really like it. I just gotta close my eyes a lot. I'm not good with like gory stuff, and yeah, I'm just a scaredy cat. So that's straight up. So my work was like, hey, you're gonna have to do some stuff on Child's Play, and I was like, okay, because like, I mean, I'm obviously not gonna say no, right? And I mean, I was intrigued. Like I said, like I thought the doll was creepy, but I was like, okay, they're rebooting it. Mark Hamill's gonna be the voice actor. It's got this new spin with artificial intelligence, no voodoo anymore. So I was like, okay, like let's give it a go, right? So fortunately, one of my friends was at the screening, so I got to sit next to him, and I basically like just poked him and screamed and was like on his shoulder a lot. But it was interesting to me because when I went to the screening, you know, I had to do some research, and I was having conversations with a lot of my colleagues, and there's just like so much history to this franchise, and a lot of, I guess you could say, I wouldn't say like controversy, but I would say that there's definitely some tension and some conflict around this remake. So the movie was made in 1988, and the creator, you know, is very passionate about Chucky and Child's Play as a franchise. It's like his baby, right? And don't quote me here. I'm like not an expert with like Child's Play knowledge, but apparently Orion owned the first movie, like had the rights to the first movie or something like that, and then it switched over to Universal. So all those sequels, there's like 7 Chucky movies in total. So a lot of those sequels, a lot of them went like straight to DVD or like straight to video or whatever. Those were all with Universal. Like it was separate from that first Orion movie. So now Orion is rebooting this and essentially ignoring all of those sequels. And it's got a new director. It's not linked with the original creator, the original voice actor. You know, it's just it's new, right? So a lot of people who are fans of the Child's Play franchise are like, what the heck? But then I think a lot of people who don't know about that inside baseball stuff, like they're kind of just like, okay, whatever, it's a remake and Mark Hamill's the voice, right? So that was kind of like more my perspective. Like I'm not someone with this like inside baseball horror movie knowledge, and I was just kind of like, cool, okay, so Chucky in an entirely like different way, not voodoo, not like this creepy serial killer who like cusses a lot and is like super sadistic and psycho, right? And to be honest, I was really intrigued by this approach. I thought that it was more believable for me for this to be artificial intelligence, like kind of going haywire. And I don't want to go into spoilers at all here, but basically, I mean, like, this isn't even really a big spoiler. Obviously, like, something goes awry, right, with the technology. And it's just, it plays on all these movies that we've seen in the past with artificial intelligence where, like, do they have emotions? Do they have feelings? And, like, what happens if they're, I would say, I wouldn't say like mistreated, but like, they're acquiring knowledge like a baby, but like people aren't thinking of them as like a baby, you know what I mean? So it's like Chucky is exposed to some things that basically dement his mind when it comes to, what we think is good and bad, right? Like, so his mind becomes like demented by things that he, I guess, experiences, even though he's like a machine, a robot. And I was speaking with one of my colleagues after the movie, and I was like, I found it really interesting that the character buildup here, that we're getting to meet Andy and his single mom Karen, who is like obviously like struggling and trying to survive, and had her son at a really young age, and has a job that she's not exactly thrilled about, and they're in a city that they're not exactly thrilled about, and life is tough for them, but like, they have each other, and he's a little boy who has a hearing aid and is I think new to the area, so there was a lot of character development there, and my friend was like, I didn't want that, I just want to see people getting killed. And I get that, because like I'm kind of like that with action movies. Like with John Wick 3, some people were like, oh my god, the plot, like, it wasn't that good, and I was like, yeah, the plot was crap, but it was a 12 out of 10 when it came to action, right? So for me, I thought I enjoyed that character development in Chucky, and I thought it was gory, and I thought there was some real nasty stuff that I cannot unsee, and for me, like, it was gory enough. But again, I'm not like a huge horror fan, so I'm like, I wonder if huge horror fans are going to dislike the development, like, and all of the like plot that they were trying to create, and dislike the amount of violence. So I mean, like, that the second act of this movie, things get crazy. Like, they start, like, it gets real gory and messy. But the first act, I think, for my colleague was just kind of like, he thought it was bland while I thought it was interesting. So I do think, like, a lot of people are going to be divided in that sense. But yeah, so what did I think about it overall? It was okay. Like, it was cool. Like, it was, if you like gore and you like scary stuff, then I mean, I think it definitely delivers in the second act for that. And it was, for me, like, I like that character development, because in the original Child's Play, it was just like this mom and son, and you really didn't know them at all. Like, they just didn't have any depth. And you know what? Again, like, this is where people are going to go off in different directions, because my friend, he was like, I don't want depth, I just want, like, the gore, right? And for me, I was like, okay, well, I'm not a huge gore fan, so, like, I need to, like, feel for these characters a little bit if, like, things are going to get real crazy later. And I did. I thought that Lars Klevberg did a solid job directing this, and he did a great job developing Karen. He did a great job developing Andy. Brian Tyree Henry's character, a detective, Mike, he's funny and relatable, and he experiences tragedy, and I mean, I really, like, I thought they did a good job with the character development, which can oftentimes be lacking in these, like, silly, like horror slasher movies. So it's definitely not silly. Like, I think the old Child's Play was silly. This one is not silly. It's dark, and it's sad, and it's still got that gore factor. So for me, like, I think it's way better than the original Child's Play. Oh my god, I hope horror fans don't get mad at me for saying that. But like, the original Child's Play is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's a movie of its time, right? Like, it was just some, like, crazy, wacky 80s scary movie, right? So for me, I think it's better than the original. But I just really, I was intrigued by this new take on it, making it a darker story and making us really, like, feel and connect with these characters, So it's cool. Like, it was like, I closed my eyes for all the gory parts, but I think that if you're going for gore, it's going to deliver. You just got to give it some time through that first act. If you want a story that's not as silly and you wanted some more depth, then that first act's going to deliver for you. So it just kind of like depends on like what you're going to Child's Play for. So for me, I mean, I'm thinking about making a ranking system. I'm thinking about making my ranking system like Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan God. You get my Super Saiyan God. Your Ultra Instinct. You get what I'm saying? And so for me, it's like a solid movie. Oh, what just happened? Oh my goodness. My computer stopped recording, I think. Anyways, okay, I gotta wrap. Look, my face is frozen. I gotta stop. Okay, so yeah, that's my like kind of review of Child's Play. It's solid. It might be a little bit slow for people in the beginning, but it definitely delivers in the gore category for Act 2. All right, bye.